Hey guys, what's going on? Carter here. Well, let's take a closer look at the ZT200. I know what you're thinking. This is an old knife. It's been out for years. Why am I doing a video on it? Oh, that's because it's new to me. I never got a chance to even handle one of these back when these were kind of new, which was what, 3-4 years ago, something like that. I remember when these came out, but I didn't get a chance to try one of these out. This is back when ZT was just known for doing collaborations with Strider and mainly Ken Onion. They did a number of knives with those two, and this knife here and the 200 kind of defined the look of ZT knives. It's since kind of changed to more of a Hinder look because they've done a number of Hinder collaborations, and I would imagine it will change again in the future. ZT knives are known for being hard use, well-made, high-quality material knives made here in the U.S. Collaborations with custom makers at relatively affordable prices. Obviously, affordable is relative to who you're talking to, but most people would consider these quite a good value for what you're getting. And this 200 is no exception to that. You're getting a 4-inch blade of 154 cm DLC coated steel, multiple grinds. You can see a swedge up here, flat ground with a recurved blade that Ken Onion is so known for. Nice thick stock, thick steel liners, contoured and sculpted G10 scales. Very nice. Huge pivot, super strong standoff construction right there. Coated pocket clip, dual thumb studs, all made in the U.S. and for about 140 bucks. You really can't, brand new. You really can't beat that. You can buy these pre-owned for obviously less than that. So this is an astounding knife, really, in terms of value. I did get a chance to carry this for a while and use it on some light tasks. Nothing major. I didn't skin a deer with it or take apart a car. However, I think it could do both of those things fairly well. But I am going to talk about some things. I am going to talk about some things I noticed about this knife. Things I like, things I love, things I don't like. So first off, let's start with the things I love. I already named the main point, which is the value, what you're getting. Next point is the quality of construction. Perfectly centered, perfect lockup, not a budge. Left, right, up, down. You cannot get this liner to so much as move, which I'm very surprised with. A lot of the times steel liners, just because they're so hard, it tends to, you might get a little bit of slippage, a little bit of slide. I mean, not a failure, but you'll feel it kind of, especially if you really push on it, you'll feel it kind of slide out of the way because it really doesn't stick. But this is just done so well. The angle geometry of the lock face is so perfect. This thing is about as stout as you can get in terms of lockup. In fact, I would challenge this thing against just about any frame lock you can mention. A stainless steel liner lock, thick liner lock like that. I mean, this is a really strong lockup. I think this could handle anything that you could throw at it. So really nice on that front. You've got a nice big stop pin that's fully shouldered by the thick steel liners. It's also shouldered where it makes contact with that stop pin. And I bring that up because basically what that means is you're going to minimize any possibility of this blade settling in backwards, if that makes sense. One of the things that changes lockup, aside from wear of the two surfaces rubbing, is as you open and you get the impact against the stop pin, or if you're using thumb studs, you get that impact and it'll kind of wear and settle in the surfaces that are hitting. Meaning if it's hitting a flat surface here, it may start to concave in. If this is not shouldered or shouldered in softer material, this may kind of make a little bit of an oval over time in whatever it's shouldered in and get a little bit of play. Things like that. But this particular construction, you're going to minimize all of that. Another thing I like is the dual opening that this offers. You have the flipper, which I actually tighten the pivot up a little bit because I like my pivots a little tighter. Out of the box, this thing would, very minimal. You didn't have to do any wrist at all and it would fly open. But you can also use the thumb studs. And these are true thumb studs in that they are solely meant to open the blade. They do not act as stops as well, so you can gain full access to those. Super smooth opening, and I already mentioned the lockup. Next thing I like is the overall looks. I mean, it just looks like a badass knife. It just looks really cool. I love this gator texturing that they did. Just looks really neat, and especially love this pivot. That is not a true hex bolt right there. It's kind of just a sculpted piece, but it looks really, really neat. Definitely something unique to the earlier ZT knives. Very thick pivot. You know, like I said, this is built like a tank. I love how low this rides. That's perfect for me. I don't like super low ride pocket clips, but I also don't like half the knife hanging out. So really nice. Now let's move to the things I don't like a ton. One is the handle width. It's a little wide for me, a little chunky. I can handle the weight, that's fine. It does have skeletonized liners in there, open construction, but it's a little meaty compared to the blade. You can see how thick it is, especially like right here. But you know, it's not too bad. The next thing is this finger choil I don't care for too much. And not that I don't like it, it's a little too aggressive in this curve right here. It actually makes it quite uncomfortable. When I squeeze like this, it digs into my knuckle. And I'm not the only one to think that. A couple of people I passed this around to that aren't even knife guys said the same thing. If you hold it kind of this way, it's fine. And if you go all the way in like that, it's fine. But if you do kind of a halfway where your knuckle fits in there, it's a little uncomfortable. Everything else is perfect though. Your thumb fits right on this ramp right here with the jimping, fits in your palm very, very nicely. So really the only thing is that's just a little aggressive for me. If you've got smaller non-sausage finger hands, maybe a totally different story for you. But that's just what I've noticed. The next thing, and this is a minor gripe, you can actually catch your finger on the tip of this blade right here. You can see how close it comes and you know how thick that is. Like I said, not a big deal. I haven't actually had an issue with it, I just noticed it. But yeah, so you just got to be careful with that. You could definitely cut yourself if you were to run your finger along here. Probably even, I mean really, yeah, just about any part of you. Almost cut myself right there. About any part of you will snag that, but you know, just keep that in mind and you won't have any problems. All in all though, this is just an outstanding, beefy, aggressive. I mean, the profile on this thing is just menacing. I love it. Really cool. Definitely be carrying this one again. It's a really nice knife. Great value. Good stuff. All right, guys, that's it for the look at the ZT200. You can also pick this up in a satin blade. However, those are a little bit more rare. Other than that, this is the only configuration I'm aware of, satin blade or the DLC coated blade, and that is DLC. Not a cheap coating to do, so definitely worth the money on this great knife. All right, guys, I'm going to do a separate video for the 200, I think. I will talk to you later.